Hello, everyone. I think I should be live right now. Hope everyone had a good holiday weekend. I know it was very hot outside. I hope you were able to stay cool and safe and have a good time. For today's live stream, I haven't done a live stream in a long time actually, and I've never actually done a live stream like this one where I'm just home and just checking out some stuff on the internet. What we're going to be looking at is an old Google Street View of Exton Square Mall. Hi, how you doing, Christina? Am I coming through good? Picture quality good? How does the sound? Everything good? I haven't done a stream like this, so this is all new to me. I spent all morning learning how to use OBS streaming software, so I hope we're coming through good. Um, what I want to do is we're going to look at an old Google Street View of Exton Square Mall from 2017, and we can see the mall back when it was still alive. Hi, how is everybody doing tonight? Hope everyone had a good weekend. Hope everyone um, stayed cool. It was brutally hot this weekend, so we, I did not. I didn't get out and do anything good for this weekend. I know it was a big holiday weekend, but just the weather, it was so hot and thunderstorms, power outages. It just didn't go well. So what we're gonna do tonight, we're gonna look at Exton Square, and there's actually a Google Street View of the entire mall, and it's from 2017. So we can see a lot of what the old storefronts used to look like back when stuff was still open. Now, earlier this week, the mall closed its doors permanently after, I think, 53 years in operation. I went there. I spent a whole day exploring. I got about an hour, put out an hour-long video on that. So if you haven't seen that, be sure to check that out after the live. But what I want to do is we're going to go get into the street view. So let me. Too hot. Yeah, too hot in Jersey. It was like dangerously hot. It was like no joke. Let me not do that. Okay. Yeah, it was really bad. It was like dangerously hot. It didn't feel safe to be like out in the heat for more than just like a few minutes. So, needless to say, I did not have a very exciting 4th of July weekend. Didn't get any videos made or anything like that. So, hi Lay, how are you? It's good to have you here. Everyone say hi to Lamonia Demonia, my beloved Pookie Bear, my honey bunny crumble. It's my girlfriend Lay. Everybody should be sure to say hi to her. So what we're looking at here is an overhead view of Exton Square. And I just want to point out some things you can see from up above here. I think this is the south entrance. And if you look down here, you can actually see they actually have a pattern in the brickwork of the parking lot. Kind of this cool wavy design. And that's very unique. That's very cool. And here you can see sort of like this barn spire. They had kind of like a barn theme to this mall. And if you watched my video, I pointed out just like many instances of just all the different barn theming you can see in the mall. And we're going to see some of that as we get into the walkthrough. But let me just show the overhead view. And you can see here these little sections where they have this sort of like pop-out skylight. And that's just a very unique feature of this mall. It was just a very beautiful mall. Give me just 1 minute. Bear with me. If I have technical difficulties, I apologize. This is my first time trying to do a live stream like this one, so I hope everything's coming through all good. Sound quality, picture quality. Everybody can see the map okay? Everything good? Just let me know if there's any issues. I'll see if I can work them out. But look up here. I think down below this little section here was the kids' play area, and this is the old Sears here. And there's this sort of like little skylit court here. And it was very pretty. We'll see that when we get inside. This is the old Sears here. And this sort of like had like an Art Deco style to it. Let's get a look at the outside of the Sears when it was still open. Oh, so it looks like this is actually post-closure. Oh, this is from 2023, this look. And look at that. Got that sort of like Art Deco style to it. And this closed, I think, 2018. Let's see how far back we can go. Okay, so we're in 2015. And we can see there's still cars in the parking lot. And the auto center is still open. I want to say that all closed like 2018, 2019-ish. We have the old Sears shopping cart. I love Google Maps. I love doing this. I will spend hours doing this just on my own time, just looking at old malls and shopping centers and stuff just on the side of the road. Just the ability to go back a few years and see how it used to look, see what was there. Look at all the old Sears brands, Craftsman, Kenmore. Yeah, Sears was just such a mainstay of just every household across the United States. Like nobody ever thought Sears would be gone. And then after over 100 years, it disappeared. It's so crazy to think that. Now, around the corner here is the parking garage. And in my video, I took a little drive through here, and all of this was just overgrown. Just all the trees, all the grass. The parking lot was falling apart. Milner's Zook House. Oh, yeah, the Zook House. There's actually a historic house on this property that they actually moved and built the Boscovs in the space where it used to be. And that's still there. And I went in the video and I took a look at that. And maybe we'll take a look at it on Google Maps. But whoops, we are looking at the pavement. But in just a minute, we're going to go and look at the inside of this mall. Because as you can see, the street view actually goes all the way through the mall. And we'll be able to see all the old storefronts. And the store employees did some funny things. And we'll see that in a little bit. I guess they knew that Google Maps was coming that day to come and do a walkthrough of the mall. So they stood in front of their stores holding signs and poses and stuff. It's really cool. It's really special. I was looking at it when I was researching for my video, and I had to share this. So I went and got all this stuff set up to stream this. So Boscovs, like Twinkies, will survive the apocalypse. I think Boscovs will do well. Boscovs is family owned, and they seem to be very invested in keeping their stores running well. And I think just they know their audience. They appeal to I don't want to say the older crowd, but the crowd of people who still want their traditional brick and mortar department store experience. Because that's what it feels like whenever you go into one of their stores. The old school looking Boscovs are so amazing. The ones that still have the neon lights and stuff. So here we are in the vestibule, about to check out the inside of Exton Square in 2017. And here we can see we have the old round one, the bowling pin for round one. That's still there, actually, but they moved it over to in front of where it is. And now this was closed. This is Red Star Craft House. And I think they changed this into a different restaurant at some point, because the signs on the outside when I was there said sink on the outside. It's a crime what happened to Sears. Yeah, private equity. They took over and they basically just sold it out for whatever it was worth, took people's jobs away. It was a real shame. It's really disgusting to think about what happened to Sears, but let me not get onto that rant. We need Boscovs in states like Florida. Yeah, Boscovs is kind of just in the Northeast, mainly up in Pennsylvania. But they're a great store. They're doing pretty well. They're like Kohl's if Kohl's was good, So this is Red Star Craft House. Looks like a little brewery style restaurant. And that was closed. Oh, we can get a good look inside. Yeah, look at that. All kinds of different craft beers. All right, let's go inside the mall. And this store is still open. Oh, this is H&M right here. And this was closed, and they had it all walled off. Oh, you sent me a corgi? Well, that's adorable. All right. So here we can actually see the mall fountain still running. Look at that. Look at that cascade of water there. Could you imagine how beautiful that would have been to come and sit and just look at that for a while out here in front of the Macy's? And now, when I first visited the mall, this was already turned off. And they had poinsettias set up inside it for Christmas, but it was long past Christmas at that point. I think they just put them there and never took them out. Fancy staircase in the H&M. Yes, this is the main staircase. Look at that. This is just a very beautiful, the architecture of this mall is just so visually appealing. So unlike most malls nowadays. And it's a shame that this mall died such a long, slow death and that it ended up like it did. But I'm glad I was able to go and visit it. Let's look at this fountain a little bit more. Let's gawk at the fountain because I love mall fountains, and I'm sure you probably do as well. I like these little sections here with the planters in the floor. That's such a cool touch. It's such an old school touch. And this is the Macy's. How far can we see inside the Macy's? This was an old Strawbridge before it was converted into Macy's. And it had a very old school look to it. Unfortunately, I didn't get to feature that in my video because it was already closed. And I wanted to make it to this Macy's before it closed, but unfortunately I wasn't able to. It closed in 2015. No, 2025, I'm sorry. And I couldn't make it to that. The H&M has its own fancy staircase inside. Okay, we'll see if we can get a look at that. We'll go over to the H&M in just a second. But I do have pictures of the inside of this Macy's on my Instagram account. Yeah, and look at this mall. Look at these lights. They have like these sort of like movie style lights. I just thought those were cool. I'm not sure why they went with that, but it's an interesting look. Oh, and we can see some of the people. We can see these youngsters hanging out here. He's got a Yoshi. They're Nintendo fans. My people. Okay, let's see if we can see the staircase in the H&M. I'm not seeing it, but it's still interesting to see the H&M. And they had stuff for $5. I don't think you can get much at H&M for $5 anymore. Look at this ceiling. And this was a Rouse mall. Rouse designed Cherry Hill. They did Woodbridge Mall in New Jersey. Many other very visually appealing malls. And this is no exception. Going the way of Grand Run. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I swear, officer, I wasn't filming or taking pictures here. Man, even the Google Maps guy can't catch a break getting stopped by security. Oh man, he's probably like, hey, are you allowed to be doing that? Alrighty. Yeah, H&M. I don't buy much at it. I don't think I've ever bought anything at H&M. Their clothes are cheap, but they're just not good quality. There was an art studio. I like when stuff like that goes in these dead malls, you know? Use it for something that can actually benefit people. And over here is the Boscovs. Yeah, I agree with you. This is a little spa here, and I thought this storefront was kind of cool how it's set up to look like a little farmhouse or something like that. And surprisingly, this was still open when I visited last week. One of the few businesses to still be open in the last days of the mall. TD3, what's up? Good to see you here. Everybody, if you're not following him already, check out TD3 on YouTube. He does like abandoned and dead retail stuff. So if you like the stuff that you see on this channel, you'll definitely like his channel. Um, I know he's been doing like Livingston Mall and stuff like that. So be sure to go give him a follow. It's good to have you here. We're checking out Exton Square, which is now closed, sadly. But there's this amazing walkthrough from 2017, 9 years ago, almost a full decade ago. This is Boscov's, and now they actually walled this over, the main entrance, with drywall. You could still go in the side entrances here, but they completely closed this off, this front section. Just kind of a bad look. And now this store here. Oh, excuse me. I drank a bottle of Dr. Pepper before doing this stream to give me a sugar rush and get all excited to live stream. This is NHF Furniture, but this was a former Deb clothing store. And Deb stores, they sold women's clothing, but their stores just had a very old school vibe. Like, I don't think they ever updated their stores. I think they're all closed at this point, but they never updated their stores, and they still looked like they were stuck in the 80s and the 90s. There was a really cool one at the Phillipsburg Mall before that one closed. And I remember just walking past it and looking inside and just being like, wow, that looks like looks like I'm looking straight into the 80s again. It was really something. There are some great pictures online if you look that up, Phillipsburg Deb. I didn't try the coconut Dr. Pepper yet. I tried the blackberry Dr. Pepper, and it was delightful. I would highly recommend that. But here is the NHF store. Look at that. You can still see the flooring from when it was a Deb, and this pink carpet. I'm not sure what that pattern is exactly, but it's a very, very retro looking carpet. Look at that. I'm not sure actually what the plans are for the property. In fact, I don't know if there are any plans for it yet. I know they closed it down because almost all the like mainline stores are closed, so there's no reason to keep it open. The Boscov's is still open, and the Round One is still open. But as far as I know, I don't know if there's any set plans on what they're going to do with the property yet. I think they had plans to demolish it and redevelop it, but I don't know if that's set in stone or not. I don't know. I could be wrong. There could be more information out there on that one. I actually didn't really look into it too deeply before I went out and explored it. I just kind of wanted to go take it all in one last time. And I did. And it was a very hot and oppressive inside this mall. There was no air conditioning on, and you had all this light coming through. And it just made the whole thing very unpleasant. And these are all fake plants up here. All along, fake plastic plants. And now if you got up close to them, you would be able to see just like there was dust all built up on top of them. It was really gross. I guess they just stopped cleaning them after a certain point. Had just all this dust built up on it. But here, even in 2017, you can already see some of the stores closed up down here on the bottom level. You can already see the signs that this was becoming a dead mall. Yeah, it really is sad because this was such a nice mall. Such a beautiful mall. And huge, too. This is Shoe Department. And this later became something called Shoe Mall. I'm trying to get a view inside. I can't really do it, but you can kind of see this interesting old school rack here. All right. Yeah, and you can see gold buyers and cell phone accessories, just all this stuff that you start seeing in dying malls. Yeah, over here, lots of closures. Even in 2017, it was already starting. And now this here, this Exton News, this is an old EB Games, and you can still see the multicolored paint on the walls here and these little dividers here. And now when this was open as EB Games, They had different video game characters on them, and I've actually seen them in some GameStops. Probably not too many of them left anymore because most GameStops are closed now. But they used to have like a picture of Link from Legend of Zelda, the guy from Halo. I'm sure there's old pictures of those up on the internet somewhere, but those are from EB Games. Have I ever been to Willowbrook? Yes, I have been to Willowbrook a couple times. I don't know, Willowbrook, it's I don't like it since they updated it. But it's not a bad mall, and it stays pretty busy. Maybe one day I'll go out and make a video on that. I know the live malls I don't really prioritize as much, but I do plan on going out and vlogging them. Yeah, and here you can see it. That tile, that's unmistakable. That's an old EB Games for sure. And the plants are still alive. So now on my recent trip to the mall, I didn't see any of these plants out. I didn't even see pots for them. But I did see a picture posted on the Dead Mall subreddit. Somebody got inside the Macy's and found all the plants like dead, dried out. So I guess they just kind of took all the plants, rounded them up, and put them in the vacant Macy's and just left them there to die. That's terrible, you know? Because I'm sure if they wanted to give them away to somebody, people would have taken those plants and taken care of them, you know? Hi Hunter, how are ya? Here we can see inside the Macy's again. Why don't I visit Garden State Plaza? I do want to make a Garden State Plaza video eventually. Garden State Plaza, it's very big and it's very busy. So filming there can kind of be a little tough. But eventually I do want to make it out there and make some videos there. They have some new like interactive exhibits, like attractions and things, and I think it'll be fun to go check them out. They removed the water fountain area where you would throw. Uh, yeah. Yeah, there was a good fountain in Willowbrook. And I think I went there when it was still there. Because I do remember seeing that before they renovated it. Oh, thank you, Hunter. I appreciate that. And I appreciate, I know you've been watching my channel for a long time, so it's always good to see you. Yeah, the people would have taken those plants. They could have just like, put a post on their Facebook saying like, free plants, come and take them, and people would have come and gotten them. But yeah, if you're ever on the Dead Mall subreddit, it's actually run by Sal from the Xlog series and Damo. It's not Dmod anymore. It's Damo. That's a long story, but check out Dead Malls of Osmium. It's the new. Oh geez. Oh geez. Am I still there? Am I disconnected? Did I cut out there for a second? Is everything still good? Did I cut out or am I still? Okay. All right. I just got a notice. I'm still learning this new streaming software. I just got a notice saying the stream got disconnected. So I'm just making sure I'm still there and we'll continue because we got more mall to cover. Look at that old nail salon. Yeah, and they have these cool little street signs all throughout the mall. Really neat touch. Yeah, I've never done a stream like this where I'm just streaming my browser from home. I'm just home right now. So I learned a new software and I'm trying it out. And if this works out, hopefully this is something I can do more often. If you like this, just let me know. I'll do other things. Maybe I'll even, I don't know, maybe play some video games or something. But thank you guys for joining me here. This is a lot of fun. This is something I've wanted to do for a while. I visited King of Prussia last week and tried not getting lost. King of Prussia is like a maze. I went to King of Prussia after I visited this mall, and I just got lost. I was trying to find the food court. I had to like stop and ask security, like, how do I get to the food court? This over here is the old help desk. And even in 2017, you can see that it's not being used. It's just empty right there. And over here was like a little historical exhibit. This is about the Zook House, which was a historic house on the property that it's actually still there, but they actually moved the entire house to a different spot because they were building an addition to the mall. The area to the right had historical displays in the town of Exton. That's what we're looking at right now. The Zook House. Zook family history. Yeah. Old farmstead here. And they preserved it. See, oh yeah, here we can see them actually moving the house. That's crazy. But that's good that they didn't knock it down. And I guess it's going to outlast the mall. It'll probably still be standing if the mall's ever torn down. Oh, thank you so much. I'm glad to have you here on the channel. I haven't done too many lives yet. Thank you for being here for the live. I'm glad you guys like my videos. Oh, thank you so much. All right, let's continue back through the mall. Let's go back this way. We're going to go see the other side of this wing, and then we're going to head to the top floor. Oh, look at that. Hold on. Hold on. Can I get that back? Oh, here we go. Look at that. That's kind of creepy. Like, there's like an auto sensor that blurs out people's faces. And I guess they just detected this one. And now she looks like a demon with no eyes. It's kind of terrifying. All right. And now, Hunter, I know you just joined, but I know you're a big enthusiast for mall fountains. Take a look at this one. This is the one at Exton Square. And sadly, it'll never run again. Oh, and check out these benches. Again, keeping with the farm theme of this mall, they had little pitchforks for the back of the chair, and the legs were axe handles. Just funny little things. Now, when I was at this mall on my recent visit, they had a lot of roof leaks, and all throughout this area here was buckets and trash cans just catching leaks from the ceiling. It was absolutely insane. I don't think I've ever seen a mall with that many buckets out for it. And the mall's even without eyes. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. If you haven't seen that video, be sure to check that out. It's a long one, so, you might want to grab a snack. It's about an hour, but I wanted to go through this mall one last time and really just capture every inch of it if possible, and I'm happy with how it turned out. Does anyone know if this mall was refurbished to make it look like it did here? They did refurbish this mall at one point. I don't know when exactly, but they did do several additions and updates to this mall over time. So this is not the original look. I don't know when this look is from, but it's definitely not like a modern, whitewashed, super sanitized, boring look. Still definitely has a nice character to it. The 90s? Yeah, it does look kind of 90s. Fake plants were a very 90s thing. Now, all through here is all medical office. I guess at this point, when a mall starts putting in things like medical offices and stuff like that, it's a sign that it's like not going well, that they couldn't get like new stores in here. Love your channel. Ivy's department store. In the 70s, I went to malls with my dad whenever Ivy's was anchored in a mall. Oh, I'm not familiar with Ivy's. Where was that one located? That must have been like a regional department store. And now these are real plants. Very beautiful. And now we can go down this way. And now this tree here, this was actually still there, but it was half dead. It was very sad. There were actually like Dead leaves scattered all around the ground where this one was. Yeah, I loved this mall too. I only came to this mall, I think the first time I came to this mall was like 2022. And I went to it because I heard it was dead. And I was just shocked at how beautiful it was. And I just spent a whole day exploring it. And it was such a good time. We have round one. I love round one. I love arcades. I'm going to be doing more arcade videos. At Paramus Park, the Sears Auto Center became an urgent care. Okay, yeah. Yeah, Paramus Park's still doing okay. It's okay. It's not booming, but it's okay. Now, the Sears at Paramus Park, they turned into Stu Leonard's, which is an amazing store with singing animatronics. They do have karaoke at round one. Yeah. Now, see, look at this. Look at the round one employees standing out here for Google Maps. Isn't that fun? I guess they must have known ahead of time that Google was going to come and map them all, so they got ready and stood outside. How do I discover places? Well, I actually, there's a lot of different sources. I use Instagram, and I follow a lot of other accounts who are exploring places. Just a lot of different resources on the internet. I look on Reddit, Facebook. I'm always looking for stuff. Now it's kind of at the point now where almost everything has been done by somebody else. So I try not to blatantly copy anybody, but I know if I'm going somewhere, somebody else has done a video on it at some point. So there's always ways to find stuff. The employees also did this in Springfield Mall when Google did Street. Is that the Springfield Mall in Pennsylvania? Because I'll check that one out too. I definitely want to look at more Google Map walkthroughs. I know there's a couple out there. I know there's the Broadway Mall on Long Island. There's York Galleria in Pennsylvania we can also look at. This is New York and Company. New York and Company is closed as a chain. I think all their locations are closed at this point. But this one's still open here. And now New York and Company actually used to be Learners. They were the same company. They just changed their name. I didn't know that. But I remember Learners when I was a kid. Flickr is a good source. Yeah, I find stuff on Flickr. Basically, all my social media algorithms at this point are just trained to show me cool places. That's all I want to see, you know? I'm in several different communities. Like I'm on Dead Mall subreddit. It's not a Discord because there used to be the Dead Mall Discord run by Sal. That's gone now. It was a long story, but now it's Osmium, which is an alternative to Discord. So be sure to check that out. It's Demo, Dead Abandoned Malls of Osmium. Great community of Dead Mall enthusiasts, Dead Mall creators. Really cool stuff. My girlfriend worked at Express 10 years ago. It's crazy how about dozen stores open then compared to the end. Yeah, Express, that's another store that's just not doing well. Honestly, their clothes look kind of terrible. Give me 1 second. I'm going to turn a light on. I'm going to turn a light on and get a drink of water. I drink water out of just gallon jugs. It's important to stay hydrated in the heat. How's everybody handling this heat? Everybody staying cool? Everybody staying inside? My favorite malls were Taubman. They demolished a beautiful Taubman when I grew up in Nashville, Tennessee. It was called Bellevue Center. Taubman malls are absolutely gorgeous. I recently went to MacArthur Center in Norfolk, Virginia. Beautiful Taubman Mall. And it was absolutely pristine, absolutely unchanged. And they closed it just because the city wants to redevelop it. Absolute shame. But I'm glad I got to see that one. And another Taubman Mall that I absolutely love is Stamford Mall in Stamford, Connecticut. Um, it's uh, it's a it's not a dead mall. I'd say it's doing okay. It was starting to struggle there for a while, but I think they're bouncing back. But it's an absolutely beautiful Taubman. Two massive glass elevators, fountains. Your power's still on. Oh yeah, I have my Republic of New Jersey flag with the New Jersey state bird, the seagull. This is the official New Jersey state flag. Marley Station is another dead Taubman mall. You know, I went to Marley Station, but I never released the footage. And I just kind of felt like a lot of other creators did really good Marley Station videos, and I felt like my video just wouldn't measure up, so I just kind of shelved the footage and didn't do anything with it. This is Habitat, and this is a store kind of like East meets West. Sells a lot of like hippie type stuff. We got all these tie dyed shirts and things. I went to Plymouth Meeting Mall for the first time Saturday. That place is approaching a dead mall. Yeah, Plymouth Meeting is going to be closing as well. They're not renewing the leases on any of the stores. And that's a shame because I think that mall could have made it. I think that mall could have survived. And I'm absolutely angry about that one closing because it has the best fountain I've ever seen in any mall. Yeah, we should go to Stanford. I don't know. We went for Christmas. I don't know. Maybe we'll find. Maybe we'll go and play some pickleball or something. Yeah, Tubman got absorbed by Simon. Virtual globe jobbing guy Ray. He's missing a French fry in the mouth. Yeah, we need a French fry in the mouth. But yeah, but this is actually the official state flag of New Jersey. All right, let's continue on. Habitat, great neon sign, a real neon sign, not LED, old school neon, bright icy blue, absolutely beautiful. And this alteration store, this was actually open. This was open on my visit. Believe it or not, one of the last open businesses in the mall. It's definitely hot in the South, Alabama. Oh my goodness. I hope you guys are doing okay. If it's this hot in the North, I imagine it's got to be really bad in the South. So I hope you guys are all doing all right. Hope you're staying cool, staying safe, because this heat is no joke for real. All right, let's continue on. Look at this old Payless with the old logo. Doesn't that take you back? Try it on shoes for the new school year. Seeing if they fit. Your mom puts the shoes on. They go, oh, walk around and make sure they feel okay. And then you do a little lap around the store and you go, okay, they feel. We have a brow bar, Chamber of Commerce. Not a good look having your Chamber of Commerce in a mall like this one. Oh, Forest Fair. You grew up in Cincinnati? Forest Fair was an amazing mall. I didn't get to visit it, but I saw lots of great videos on it. Such a cool place. An iconic dead mall. We have the old Foot Locker here. Hold up. Look at this carpet on the Foot Locker. Check that out. That's something. And now these spaces were being used by like a STEM robotics league. And they actually had like a lot of stuff still inside. They had like 3D printers and all this expensive equipment. And I was just thinking like they better come get that before somebody tries to like steal it. Hey, how are you guys? Thank you for coming in, Hunter. The Macy's. It's tough to see, but they have all this old shelving here in the Macy's. It looked like a 90s department store. Like, look at all this Naughty Pine. Do you guys remember Naughty Pine? Alrighty. Let's see if we can head up to the top floor. Alright, I might have to back out. Alright, let's get onto the top floor. Okay. Let's go this way. We have Claire's. Claire's is still there. Come get your ear pierced. And now Claire's was in bankruptcy, and they were going to close almost all their locations, but they actually bounced back. I guess some locations got bought out, and they're staying open. So kids will still get to experience getting their ears pierced at Claire's. There's still light in the world. That Sonic location. I just posted a video of the closed Sonic in Bayonne. Oh no. I drive past that one every once in a while. I like Sonic a lot, but I'm sad that so many of them have closed. There was one in Flemington. No, the one in Flemington's still open. But I would go to the one in Flemington because I was working in Flemington, and I would just order the worst food imaginable to just drown my sorrows after a hard day of work. Not a healthy habit. Definitely don't do that, but I did that at Sonic. Okay. We have a Gertrude Hawk. Now they're still doing well. They still have locations. I think there's one in Rockaway Town Square, and they always smell really good whenever you walk past them. And this is Macy. Look at the lighting units on here. That's just like a very old school look. And you can see here, this was like wood slats. And I have to imagine that at one point, that probably wasn't painted white. It might have been like a natural wood color. And I bet that looked really amazing. Best Buy Mobile. Yeah, Best Buy Mobile. That's another thing that I don't think exists anymore. I think we're down to pretty much just what? Like Sprint, T-Mobile, and Verizon? There were a lot of different cell phone carriers that popped up during that boom, and I think they're all gone now. Yes, there was a Gertrude in Phillipsburg Mall. I remember going to that one too. What do they have? Can we see? It's kind of hard to tell, but they have all kinds of delicious chocolates. Summer sale, fudge. Oh, that looks so good. Hickory Farms. Yeah, Hickory Farms still exists. It's a seasonal pop-up. You can still get your summer sausages and that like weird little block of cheese. I love it. I don't know about you guys. Let's go take a look in the Macy's. And here you can really see like the vintage style of the old Strawbridge. This used to be an old Strawbridge store. And you can still see like the green carpet and all this brown wood trim. Now I saw that when I went inside the old Macy's at Voorhees Mall. That used to be a Strawbridge, and it looked very similar to this. Pineapple mustard, yeah. Yeah, Rockaway Town Square, I mean, it's doing okay. It's owned by Simon, so they'll take care of it. But I don't know, it's okay. It used to be it used to have some nice stores in it, but a lot of the stores closed, like GameStop closed, Books A Million closed. It's kind of sad there now. But I think it will last. I think it won't be a dead mall. Godiva in the demolished Taubman Bellevue Center. Oh, Godiva's good too. Look at this skylight. Oh my gosh. Now again, in my recent visit, this section was just full of buckets catching water falling from the ceiling. Let's see if we can go down this way. What do we have here? That's Gap. What is this store? Oh, that's also Gap. Lots of Gap. Lots of space for Gap. Gap's another store that I don't see very often in malls. I see some standalone Gaps, but I don't see them in malls so much anymore. The Neshaminy Mall Strawbridge was also beautiful. I mean, I've been to the outside of that, and it looks just So beautiful. But I can't even get a look inside. I don't know. I would love to go inside that one. Maybe I'll give them a call and see if like I'm able to do that. I only live a few minutes from Rockaway Town Square. It used to be great back in the day. Sears and Lorden's failure. Yeah, yeah, they got some space to fill. I don't know. I would have loved to gone to Rockaway back in the day, but I never made it. Gap is still open in King of Prussia. Okay. Liberty Tree Mall in Danvers is dead, but still owned by Simon. There's a crazy story about the Liberty Tree Mall. There's a channel, I think it's called L Supersonic Q, and it's a lost media channel, but he actually did a video about how there was a giant tree sculpture inside the Liberty Tree Mall, and it disappeared. Giant sculpture, gone. No one knows what happened to it. Absolutely crazy, but be sure to check out that video. It's a very interesting video, and it's a cool channel, L Supersonic. If you're watching this video, L Supersonic, I like your videos. Sports Valley. I don't know what that is. That was probably something else before it was Sports Valley, but it's a very old school looking front counter there. Gap is coming. Oh, so they're opening a new Gap in Freehold Raceway Mall? Okay. I need to go to Freehold. I haven't been there in a while. They're having a cool thing in the parking lot. They're having like this big dinosaur spectacular. I know anytime I make a video about like dinosaur animatronics or something like that, like nobody watches it, but I'm just a geek for that type of stuff, so I'm going to keep doing it anyway. There's a Gap in Springfield Mall. Springfield Mall is another mall that I need to get to because that's a really beautiful mall. I stopped there briefly on a road trip once, and it was just a really cool mall. Radio Shack. Oh, yeah, you know what? That might have. Whoops. All right. Yeah, this looks like it might have been an old Radio Shack. Yeah, I would say that likely is an old Radio Shack. That's so cool. I miss Radio Shack. I'm surprised Radio Shack didn't make it. I feel like if they could have made it, you know? Because all their stuff is electronics related and everything we do now is related to electronics. Okay, it is okay. Exton Place. That looks like a little gift shop. Brighton stuff. And this was a GameStop. I guess this was already closed in 2017. What's over here? Express. Champs. Champs is still doing good. I still see Champs. Guess people still gonna buy sneakers. Now Lids, that's a store that I don't know how it stays open. Are people really still buying hats that much? I don't know. I was in Freehold the other day. They're opening a Von Mar. Yeah, I definitely want to come check out the Von Mar when it opens up because that's going to be the only Von Mar, I think, in the Northeast U.S. You found a place for video game consoles that has Radio Shack branding on it, new and packaged. Got to show you my. Okay, cool. I'm looking forward to that. One of these days, I need to see one of those gumballs. You know what? Fleabitten Adventures ate a gumball from a dead mall on one of these channels, and hats off to him. Like, you know, I can't top that. He's the man for doing that. You know. Actually, I did eat a gumball. I did eat one recently. I got a gumball at the Morristown Game Vault, and I put it in my mouth for a minute, and I had to spit it out because it was so bad. But you know what? Next dead mall I go to, I'm going to eat a gumball. We have the Children's Place. Little nail salon back here. And look at this. Look at this hand with these nails on it. And the fake flowers. That's art right there. We have more of these beautiful trees. And look at this ceiling. Look at this high vaulted ceiling. Such beautiful architecture on this mall. And it's an absolute shame that they couldn't keep this one going. And we got to look in this Sears. Look at that. I miss Sears so much. Oh, that's kind of like a Freddy Krueger sweater. Miss Sears. I miss being able to go into Sears because Sears felt like stepping back in time. Like if you went to a Sears in its like twilight years, you felt like you were like stepping back to the 90s. Liberty Travel. Is Liberty Travel still around? I feel like travel agents are something that's kind of been phased out. Oh, and look, you can see she's posing for Google Maps coming through. I miss Sears, but not their clothing. Yeah, their clothing wasn't that great. Yeah, I wish I appreciated Sears more when it was around. This is the kids' play area. And I got to tell you, when I went through it on my visit, it was absolutely creepy. Just seeing this totally empty. Sears is still alive in Mexico. That's true. But I think it's owned by a different company. Now look at this store. This is Learning Express. Look at that tile work. And we have Connects. We all remember Connects, right? All these educational toys. Such fun stuff. I loved stores like that when I was a kid. Giant Playmobil Flyers player. And now here we have the old Hollister. And was it an old KB Toys? Might have been an old KB Toys. This is the old Hollister. And now when I went to it on my recent visit, they had the blue tape like they did in the Backrooms movie. I don't know if you guys have seen the Backrooms movie, but I saw it and I really liked it. Somebody came through and did the taped doorway from the Backrooms. But inside here is blacklight mini golf. It's hard to see, but this is like glow in the dark mini golf here. Can we get a look inside? It's a little tough to see what's going on in there, but that must have been fun. There are still Liberty Travels open. Okay, interesting. Yeah, it would be interesting to see if Von Mar expands into New Jersey. I guess if the location in Freehold does well, maybe they'll open up some other locations. Who knows? Yeah, did anybody else see the Backrooms? What did you guys think of it? I know some people liked it, some people didn't. Now look at this place. This is Snippets. Haircuts for kids. Look at this. This is a cartoonish anthropomorphic pair of scissors. Did anybody get their haircut here? Does anybody remember this? I don't remember this, but this looks absolutely insane. This looks like it's all like Super Nickelodeon looking. All these wacky things in here. Let me see if I can get another look at this. It's a little tough to get in position, but look at that. Anything to make a kid sit still and get their haircut, right? The old Hollister at Paramus Park is now an interactive slime experience. Yeah, I've seen those things pop up. I guess kids love playing with slime. I know I liked playing with slime when I was a kid. Just trying to get a good view of this. Yeah, that's absolutely wacky. Does anybody remember that? And this is the Picture People. And I see these in dead malls all the time. Oh, and she's waving to Google Maps. And her arm has become one with the carpet. like a David Lynch movie. But yeah, come get your picture taken at the mall. I remember that was a thing. Like you'd go to Sears, you'd go to JCPenney, and you'd go to a photo studio and get like a picture taken. That's just not something people do anymore at all. At this point, I would say Von Maur would take over the old Lord and Taylor at Garden State Plaza, unless there are plans to open a new store as part of the mall expansion project. I don't know. I don't know. It'd be very interesting to see what they do with that area. Anything could happen at this point, you know? Piercing Pagoda. Come get your ears pierced. He does not look like he wants his ears pierced. He does not look very happy at all. Hallmark. You don't see too many Hallmark stores anymore. Entire wall of Yankee candles. All right, let's keep going. We have the GNC. Oh, and that's a real neon sign there. GNCs always last long in the malls. They're always one of like the last stores standing when the malls start to die. Let me get a view from over here. If I can. Oh, I guess it won't let me. But here we can just see more of this beautiful architecture in this mall. Oh, Priet. Priet owns this mall. I think they still own it, and I think they were trying to sell it, or I don't know if they did sell it or not. I'm not sure. But this was an old Sam Goody. And this was like a late version Sam Goody. Now, the Sam Goody I grew up with had like bright pink neon. Later on, they switched to more of like a yellowish with like this weird kind of like purplish color. If you watch the video I just made, you can see like right here, it still says Sam Goody, and they just had like a mat over top of it. This is Rue 21, or it was Rue 21. But you can see this was already closed in July 2017. Yeah, I miss Sam Goody. Sam Goody was such a great store. Let's see if I can walk through here. And now this is a food stand. I guess at some point between 2017 and the present, this reopened as a Mediterranean food restaurant. But I don't know what it was originally. Has kind of an interesting look. Does anybody know what this one was? Musicland, Sam Goody, Media Play. I miss all of those physical media stores. I miss them so much. But on a positive note, there are a lot of record stores opening up where you can go still get vinyl, CDs, cassettes. And a lot of them are even expanding into like DVDs and tapes and stuff. So I guess physical media stores are not completely gone yet. Spencer's. I'm going to tell you a secret. If you go into Spencer Gifts and you go all the way into the back, they have dildos. Don't tell anyone I said that. I'm trying to see if I can get over to the Macy's. Can I get to the Macy's? All right, I guess they didn't take a picture on that side. All right, we'll keep going this way. Physical media is back. Yeah. And speaking of physical media, next weekend I'm going to an event, a festival of physical media, if you will. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be a fun time. This is the old finish line. Let me see if I can get a look inside. It's a little tough to see, but old finish lines, they had this giant basketball hoop suspended from the ceiling here. Look at that. We can see the old front desk here. You found a Radio Shack with the sign still up? That's really cool. Yeah, Sony's going all digital for their games, and at this point, I'm like, why buy a PlayStation then? Like, I mean, if it's going to be all digital, might as well just go to PC. I think that's what I'm going to do in the future. But then again, I don't spend a lot of time playing video games anymore, just because I'm spending a lot of time on the channel and not really having a lot of time to sit and play. And I still have a lot of old games that I want to get back to. So Mahoning VHS Fest, I'm going to be there. I'm excited for it. It's going to be an awesome one. I've wanted to go many years, but I've never been able to because I had to work. But I'm unemployed, so now I can go. So the Mahoning is a bucket list place. Yeah, I really want to go. They have like movie events all weekend, every weekend all throughout the summer. So we're gonna go to VHS Fest, and maybe we'll go and catch some movies on a different day too. There is one place no one goes that has the best abandoned stuff. It's Huntington, Pennsylvania. Okay. I don't do too much urbex anymore, but you know, abandoned stuff's still cool. I'm still down to go check it out. Yeah, anytime they want to revoke your digital copy, they can do that at any time. PlayStation deleted, Sony deleted like movies that people had already paid for just because they left their library. You know, it's crazy. I don't think Steam does that though. I don't know a lot about Steam, but if gaming consoles are going to be phasing out physical releases, I'm probably going to switch to PC because why not? You know, companies don't want you to own games. It's just yeah. It's crazy. Now let me go look at this Zales. Now, as I mentioned before, the store employees were posing for the Google Maps people, and here we can see these folks getting ready. They're holding up a sign. Shh! Don't tell our boyfriends. Hold up a second. Let me go back. Let me try and get the view. Here we go. Here we go. They did a little proposal. Isn't that funny? That's fun. You know, it must have been fun working here. You can see that these people were, you know, just having fun and doing that. And it's cool that these moments were preserved in this walkthrough, which is why I really wanted to come and share this with you guys. But I didn't know if I could really turn this into a video, so I hope we're enjoying this live stream format. If you guys like this, I'll do this more often. If this is working out well, I got my little picture here. I can move myself around. Look at that. I'm almost like a real streamer. Okay, let's go. I just wanted to look down here real quick. If I can. Anyway, Cricket Wireless. Is Cricket Wireless still there? Is Cricket still around? Or is that gone? Look at them all. Oh my goodness. Shh, right? Don't tell everyone. That's funny. This mall, yes. So this mall just closed earlier this week. It closed on Tuesday. It was his final day open. And I actually made a visit just a few days prior, and I have my final visit up on my channel now. It's a long video. It's a very comprehensive look at the mall. It's a really good video. So if you guys haven't seen that already, be sure to check that one out because I'm really happy with how it turned out. But as I was doing research on this video, I stumbled across this really cool walkthrough, and I wanted to share it with you guys. Over here is Yankee Candle. And that's an old school Yankee Candle. I don't think the stores look like this anymore. Does anybody else go to the Yankee Candle store and just like open up all of them and smell them all? I know Lay and we've been inside the stores and have been doing that. Yes, the Boscov's is going to stay open at the Exton Mall. And this is Banana Republic. Oh, thank you, Blue Blizzy. I appreciate that. And thank you all for being here. I haven't done a live stream in a long time, and it's fun to do, and I want to do it more often, but I haven't really had the time. And I've just been going around and trying to grind out as many videos as possible and just keep this channel going full bore. I hope everybody's liking all the videos that I've been trying to get out, trying to make it as a real YouTuber, and hopefully it'll happen. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, round one is going to stay open, but I wouldn't be surprised if they relocate eventually. Yeah, this is the Macy's, and can we get a good look? Yeah, here we can see that signature old school Macy's parquet flooring. Look at that. This was an old Strawbridge. You love Boscov's? Boscov's is great, especially the old ones. Round one is going to stay open. Yeah. Here we can get another look at the fountain. Look at that. So pretty. I miss small fountains. Let me get back to the other side. Okay, Bath and Body Works. Boscov's candy counter. Yeah, where else do you see a candy counter inside an old department store? It's another really old school thing. Hold on 1 second. All right. Everything still look good on the stream? It's old Gymboree. Is Gymboree still around? I remember Gymboree when I was a kid. Their storefronts looked like they were like very colorful, and they looked like an archway made out of like building blocks. Just very fun, appealing store. And I always thought it looked cool as a kid, but they were selling clothes for like small children, and I was like too old. Yes, Gabe's can be close to Ames style, but doesn't feel like it. Games is like a very disorganized Value City. Yeah, Gabe's isn't really that exciting. Oh, thank you so much, Madam Hummingbird. I appreciate you guys being here. I appreciate you guys tuning in to see what we're up to. It means a lot, your support. It's just helping me out so much. I'm just so grateful to have such a good community here on this channel. Us mall geeks and whatnot. Us nostalgia addicts, I posted a vid on Bergen Town Center. The Whole Foods used to have a really nice waterfall. Really? That's interesting. I've never seen a waterfall inside a Whole Foods. I'll have to see if I can find pictures of that. The repair shop has one of the most 2010 signs I've seen. This one here. Is that what you mean? Because that does look very 2010s. Oh, let me get back to it. Yeah. Broken cell phone screens. That's another very 2010s thing. Gymboree was purchased by Children's Place, and they're starting to open some stores. Okay. That's interesting. Cool to see that they're still around. Things remembered. Am I going to say the line? I'm going to say the line. This store is now only a thing remembered. Sleep Number. Oh, look at the Sleep Number employees. My sleep IQ score last night was a 97. I don't know what that means, but look at these guys. My sleep setting is a 35. What's yours? Oh. And this place is now an empty void. All right. We have these folks here hanging out. Yeah, they definitely look like 2017 too. It's over on that side. We have Loft, Victoria's Secret. Let's head over this way. So we have Zoomies. Does anybody shop at Zoomies? Does anybody buy anything from there? I don't know. I guess it's like a skateboarding thing. I don't know. That's just the whole world I'm not really familiar with. I never skateboarded. If I tried to skateboard, I'd end up in the hospital. That's a cool looking store. The Simpsons had a mall scene with a store called Things Unnecessary. That sums up just about every store you'd shop at nowadays. Because there's so many stores just selling just stuff that belongs in a landfill that's going to end up in landfills or Goodwill. It's a real shame. Just cheaply made stuff that's just it's not going to last. You don't need it. Now I want to show you these trees here. These are beautiful trees, and I think they ended up just like thrown into an empty store where they died. Well, what are these? Are these like fig trees? Does anybody know? Yeah, you said it. Landfill core. In high school, I worked at Gap, Express, Lecter's, Berman's. Yeah. Yeah, I remember all those places. Priant malls have a style. They almost feel like Mills malls, but way more muted down if they weren't remodeled. Yeah, Priant's kind of strange. Like they don't. I don't know. I feel like they try, but they don't really. They're not very successful in keeping the malls alive. And this, I believe, is J.C. Penney back here. Oh no, is it Sears? No, it's J.C. Penney. But anyway, I really like these trees, and I saw them still alive on my first couple visits to the mall, and I was admiring them. Journeys, old shoes. Oh, look at these guys. Look at them. Look at them posing for the Google Maps. They're immortalized on the Google Maps walkthrough. Charlotte Russe. Charlotte Russe is still around, right? The stores look a lot different, but I think they're still around. Happy 4th of July weekend, yeah! I didn't really have a good 4th of July weekend. It was just very, very hot. There were thunderstorms, power outages. It just wasn't really safe to be out and about. A lot of things were canceled. So this 4th of July was a bust. I didn't get any videos out on anything cool happening, but what are you going to do? That's life, you know. But I hope everyone had a safe and happy 4th of July weekend. I hope you were able to stay cool. Oh, here we go. Tivana. Tivana was a cool store. I remember going to Tivana and just trying the teas that they had out front. And they always had like these really cool fruit flavored teas and stuff like that. I've become a tea drinker in recent years. I used to drink only coffee, but lately I've been getting into tea. Been trying those celestial seasonings and whatnot. So good. Yeah, Tivana got bought by Starbucks. Do they even have Tivana products at Starbucks anymore? I know for a while they did, but I don't think they do anymore. Yeah, Tivana had good drinks. You just got your power back 3 hours ago? Oh, that sucks. I am sorry. I hope you're doing all right. Because losing power in this heat is no joke. It is legitimately dangerous. I just hope everyone's doing okay. JCPenney's in Garden State Plaza was my first retail job as a teen. I worked in the juniors department. I remember that JCPenney. And it was set up very similar to how the Macy's is set up in Exton Square, with it being a central anchor with the wings of the mall wrapping around it. You don't see that too often. All right. Continuing on. We have Cinnabon. Cinnabon's still open. Oh, and she's smiling for the camera. Her face is blurred out, but you can see she's smiling. That's cool. This must have just been a fun day. Everybody was excited to have Google Maps coming through and plotting them all. Look at the fake plants. Starbucks still uses the Tivana name only for boxed teas. Maybe I'll go and buy some Tivana teas. Go relive it. Now here inside the Macy's, you can see really, really cool old school tile. Look at that. And it was so dirty and grimy and deteriorating. Looks like it must have been like old linoleum. But look at the colors on that. Very like 70s looking. And this carpet. I gotta say, this Macy's was kind of gross during its final days. Unfortunately, I didn't get to film it. I did take a lot of pictures on one of my visits, though. But look, you can see they're just kind of like holding it together with duct tape here. Cinnabon sounds better than they are. Auntie Anne's for life. I love Auntie Anne's, but I will not tolerate any Cinnabon slander. Cinnabon is where it's at. And they're the same company, too, so... What's everybody's go-to mall snack? What do you got to get when you're walking around? I love an Auntie Anne's pretzel. And I love the pretzel dogs, too. Those are something we get all the time. They're skimpy for their frosting, and of course, you have to buy the extra frosting. Well, that's how they get you. That's how they get you. But you know where you get the best cinnamon buns? Continental breakfast at a Holiday Inn Express. Take my word for it. Auntie Anne's cheese has changed. It used to be a fresh cup, but now it's weird. Now it's like a tin. Yeah, it's like a fake cheese. It's almost like a Cheese Whiz. But I'm not going to lie. I do like it. I do like me a good fake processed cheese. I love pretzel bites from Auntie Anne's with extra cheese. You can't beat it. The pretzels are just so fresh and buttery, and they smell so good. You can smell them from across the mall. You can just smell them like beckoning you in, like, come to Auntie Anne's. Come and get a pretzel. You know what? Let me show you something. Let me turn the light on. So, ooh. All right. It's getting a little dark out. Let me make this window a little bit bigger. So for a while there, it was like a limited time thing. Auntie Anne's released their own fragrance. It's called Need. And it smells like an Auntie Anne's pretzel. It was a limited time fragrance, and it sold out almost instantly, but I managed to get myself a bottle of Auntie Anne's fragrance. You see that? Let me put a little on. I smell like the mall now. Yeah, not too many people have this. But I do. People are thinking I'm insane right now. Alrighty. Let's keep going. All right, back to the mall. Let me put this light off. All right. Almost done. Not much else to see in this mall. We're almost to the end of it. Sunglasses Hut. And this is Justice. But I guess Justice had closed at this point. You saw my video on that? Yeah. This is the toy shop. And it looks like just one of these pop-up toy shops. Remember these things? They were a popular thing for a while. And emojis. What's the hot item now? It's like these squishy... They look like steamed dumplings, and they're squishy. And squishy sticks of butter. That's the hot item everyone wants nowadays. I guess the Labubu trend is over. Now it's squishy dumplings. I get coffee when I'm at the mall. However, when Burger King was still open at Woodbridge Center, I looked forward to getting a kid's meal and enjoying their old school vibe. The Burger King at Woodbridge Center was absolutely beautiful. Hold on. I'm getting sidetracked now, but we got to go look this up. There was a Burger King in Woodbridge Center. It's closed now. I think it closed around like the pandemic, but it was super old school looking. Look at that. Look at that. That's stained glass. Burger King and stained glass. I loved Bradley's. My favorite was back to school shopping. I grabbed a cherry icy from the counter and loaded up on Lisa Frank's Sanctuary. Aw, it's adorable. The dumplings are like $9. $9 for a dumpling. Squishy dumpling. But look at this. This is stained glass. Let me see if I can find more photos of this. There aren't too many. Oh, here we go. Look at that. I guess they changed it. Now it's glass block. Still a very cool old school thing. Can I zoom? Look at this artwork here. Yeah, that like retro style art. And do you see these it's hard to see, but there's like a pattern on the railing here and the tile. Look at that. This is amazing stuff here. And I think most of this is still back there behind a wall. This is a fake skylight right up here. These are glass blocks with lights behind them. My local Arby's was an Arby's Burger King Arby's. That's cool. I didn't know Arby's and Burger King had dual locations like that. The McDonald's they demolished in Tri-County Mall had 2 floors. You could eat in the basement of McDonald's. Oh, that must have been so cool. Fast food restaurants used to be fun. Now they feel like prisons. Check that out. Yeah, look at that railing. This is what you call global village coffee house aesthetic. Aesthetic. It was very popular in places like Starbucks and Panera back in the 90s. Kind of got phased out. Wow. It's amazing. Yeah, they're lame now. Like, have you been to a Wendy's lately? I've seen like prison cafeterias that have more character than a Wendy's. Wow, look at that. This is a Burger King. Can you believe that? Beautiful. So shout out to user Existence Sucks on Imgur. Posted these in February 14th, 2020. Alrighty. I'm getting sidetracked. Let's go back to Exton Square. All right. New McDonald's buildings are just concrete blocks. They're terrible. Everything used to be fun and colorful. I don't know why it's not. Well, I know why it's not, but I think people need that. I think people would be much happier if we still had like color and things looking aesthetically pleasing. I think it's good for people's mental health. I really do. I think it's a contributing factor to why people are so sad nowadays. All for short shirts. Wendy's in Miami are very upscale with fireplaces, sofas, and coffee tables. That's pretty cool. Wendy's solariums were really cool too. Yeah, yeah, you don't see those anymore. They got rid of them all. I love Woodbridge Center Mall. I love Woodbridge Center too. I need to go make a video there. The thing is, I want to go do it with a friend of mine, and we haven't been able to get our schedules to work because we're both just busy. I want to do it with DJ Mike. I don't know if you guys remember. If you saw my Dark Force video, he was the guy in the cow pajamas, and he joined me for the round one video at Menlo Park Mall. Awesome dude. He's a goth club DJ, super nostalgic guy like me. I love the dude, so I want to have him there because that was his mall too. So I miss EB Games and KB Toys. Oh yeah, absolutely. PacSun. Look at that old PacSun. And what was this? Who remembers what this was? I don't remember. It wasn't Wet Seal. Oh, I feel like I know this, but I don't know it. I don't know. Oh, but look, guy from Verizon coming out to take a picture with Google Maps. Is this the reflection of the? No, it's reflection of this guy. Trying to see if we can see the reflection of the Google Maps camera here. I miss Babbage's. Yeah, I miss Babbage's. I miss EB Games, Electronics Boutique. Those I miss Funko Land. Speaking of Funko Land, let me see if I have this. Give me a second. It's an old Funko Land disc wallet that I bought at a yard sale a couple of years ago. Pretty cool, right? Yeah, Woodbridge Center's got to happen soon. Yeah, I just got to get Mike to join me. I know Mike's probably going to watch this. Mike, we gotta meet up again. Now this is Coffee Beanery. This kiosk here. Oh, look at all that stuff. Coffee Beanery. I think it still exists. I think there are still Coffee Beanery locations, but I want to say that there's only a handful left when they used to be pretty common in malls. There used to be one in Monmouth Mall back before they closed that down. Now here we are in the food court. Let me get a look at it for you. I don't know how far I can go in here, but we can see all the trees are still there. All these planters are full. There's still a Coffee Beanery by you? Okay. Maybe we'll have to stop at it. Verizon looks like an old Fredericks of Hollywood. That was a kind of a saucy store. Now, Fredericks of Hollywood, I know this because Dan Bell pointed it out in one of his videos. They actually had leopard print carpeting because it was a lingerie store, but it was kind of like whereas like Victoria's Secret's it kind of tries to be classy, Fredericks of Hollywood was not. It was a little more sleazy. All right, let's see what's in the food court here. Orange Julius. Oh, there's a kiosk. All right, we'll have to go. We'll have to go make a visit. Maybe we'll do a coffee review. Subway. Look at the old Subway graphics. And this drink machine. This drink machine was still there on my recent visit. You got a story to tell me about Fredericks? Okay. We'll have to do that off stream. Look at this beautiful food court. Why can't we have places like this? What's wrong with this, you know? It's a shame. Now, this was the first Chick-fil-A to open up in Pennsylvania, and it was actually one of the last locations to one of the last businesses to close inside this mall. And I think when that closed, that was when they were like, okay, it's time to wrap it up. There's a coffee beanery in Paramus Park at one point. I think I remember that. I don't know. I remember Coffee Beanery being around. Mandarin Express, Five Guys. And now there was actually a restaurant open in this one as well. I want to say it was like a Puerto Rican restaurant. Smelled really good. Oh, look at these guys. What's on his shirt? Oh, it's uh why can't I think of the name of that? National Lampoon's Christmas. Yeah, I remember going to malls and the food court, you could not find a seat. You would have to wait for people to get up before you could get a seat. And when I went to this food court on my recent visit, it was empty. It felt like a scene from the apocalypse. Be sure to check that video out. After the stream, if you haven't watched it, check it out. It's really awesome. Very sad. Pizza. Oh, that's fun, the little scooter. Salad Works. What's this? Sushi. Okay. Sarku. That's the best thing to get at the mall food court. What's everybody's go-to lunch at the mall food court? Like if you're at a mall, what are you getting at the food court? I'm usually getting Sarku or pizza. If they have pizza, I might get pizza too. I like Sparrow. I'm not ashamed to say it. I think Sparrow is pretty good. Salad Works is basically a sweet green. Yeah, there's a lot of like salad restaurants that are all pretty similar. Talk about Willowbrook and Garden State Food Court. You're lucky if you find a table. Yeah, those stay busy. Yeah, but those malls are doing well, you know? Let's just look at this food court. Look at the ceilings with these pop-out skylights. Like, this is beautiful architecture here. Like, this is probably going to get torn down. That makes me want to cry, you know? This is so nice. Sparrow used to be good, but they changed up their Strombolis. Not bueno. Yeah, that's fair. Used to love Friendlies at the mall. Love Adriatic Pizza. Now, does anybody remember a place called Roly Boly? I think there were only a few locations and they were at New Jersey malls. There was one at Bridgewater. I want to say there was one in Freehold. Basically, what they would do is they would take like a little round pizza crust and you pick out your toppings, whatever you want, like pepperoni, cheese, vegetables, and then they roll it up like a stromboli. And then they send it through this conveyor belt oven. You put it in one side, goes through, cooks it, comes out the other side, perfectly hot and crispy. You have this perfect little stromboli and a little sauce cup to dip it in. So good, and there's nothing like it at all. I feel like people don't even really remember Roly Boly. Let me go off on another sidetrack again. Roly Boly. This is what the logo used to look like. And this is the Roly Boly menu from Freehold Raceway Mall. One of my favorite mall restaurants was the Magic Pan. There was one in Paramus Park and Riverside Mall. Food was fantastic. Interesting. I've never heard of Magic Pan. Was it like a pizza place? What happened to Fridays? I forget what happened to Fridays, but most of them are closed now. Honestly, Fridays was kind of bad later on. I remember when I was a kid, Fridays used to have all the stuff nailed to the walls. So cool. But now it's just like, here's people trying to recreate a roly poly. This is a roly poly Facebook group. People trying to remake it. Yeah, this is an old roly poly. Good stuff. You can't. There's nothing like it anymore. Freehold Raceway Mall is open and thriving. It's kind of boring looking because it is a Simon-owned mall. I think it's Simon-owned. I could be wrong about that. TGI Fridays did what Cracker Barrel did with their remodel, just boring and bland. Yeah, but they remodeled a while back. I remember Fridays used to have like. Let me see if I can find a picture of that now too. Are there any good pictures of it? Look at that. Trying to find a picture with all the stuff nailed to the walls. They just had like toys and collectibles and antiques, all this stuff just, and it was literally nailed to the walls. It was crazy. Yeah, here we go. Friday's wall of junk. This is what Fridays used to look like. All kinds of stuff. Looks like a glamorous hot pocket. You don't know. Oh my god. No, it was like everything good about pizza and Strombolis. It was so good. We should go to Cracker Barrel soon. Yeah, we're gonna go to Cracker Barrel soon. Do you remember Bennigan's? I remember Bennigan's. I don't think I ate there, but I do remember it. Cracker Barrel sucks. I mean, I go in kind of knowing what to expect there. Hear me out. Simon hates some malls and loves others. Like, for example, some malls were closed on purpose by Simon. Yeah, Simon, they pick and choose which malls they think are going to do well and which ones aren't. And certain ones they sell off, like Livingston. Livingston was actually owned by Simon at one point, and then Simon offloaded them to Kohan, and that's when that Malta just took like a steep decline. And Fridays, not Fridays, Simon they'll keep their malls alive if they think it's going to do well, and but they'll take it all the character, so they all look very boring, but stuff's open in them, so I have like a love-hate relationship with Simon. Friday's servers had uniforms with stripes and funny pens. They had pieces of flair. Last time I went to a Cracker Barrel, I found out my family was having credit card fraud. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. That sucks when that happens. I don't like how Cracker Barrel makes everyone pay for their food in the gift shop instead of the table. Yeah. I don't know. I do like breakfast at Cracker Barrel. I do. Emerald Square Mall. Yeah, that's another one that's just a ghost town. I got yelled at by security really badly there. They were like ready to kill me. All right. I think we're almost done with the mall here. And this is about where we ended up. There's Crazy 8, which looks like a kid's store. And then we have Hot Topic with the old gates of hell. Look at that. Now, you're not a real 90s mall goth unless you walked through these doors. And I know, because I was one. I had my Korn CD and my Discman tucked into my baggy jeans. And I went into Hot Topic. And I bought Black Band t-shirts. I was there. I was there. Crazy 8 is a thing that no longer exists. Remember, security are not police officers. You don't have to obey their commands, just walk away. Well, yes and no. So, what happened to me in Emerald Square I was I had been walking around the mall filming and taking pictures for a long time, and I managed to get a lot of good footage, a lot of pictures, and they didn't catch me. But I think somebody working in one of the stores must have seen me and called security because they were coming from where they had been posted and they were yelling at me, like yelling across the mall at me. And they were yelling at me that I needed to delete my photos. And I told them, I'm not going to delete my photos. You don't have a right to ask me that because they don't. And they said, okay, well, we're going to kick you out of the mall and we're going to trespass you from the mall. And I said, okay, I will leave. They do have a right to kick you out of the mall. Malls are private property. So if they want to kick you out, have you trespassed, they can do that. If you refuse to leave, they can call the cops and have you formally trespassed from the mall. And I didn't want to escalate it to that. So I left. I didn't give them my ID. I didn't give them my name or anything. I don't even know if they were going to remember me, but I probably won't go back to that mall anytime soon. But I don't know. If I find out that that mall is going to close permanently, I might try to make a trip back and see it one last time. But no, they can't arrest you. They can't take your property. They can't make you delete photos. They can ask you to leave. They can ask you to stop, and they can call the cops to have you trespassed. So, you kind of got to just like work with them. I mean, I don't want to antagonize mall security guards because I know they're just doing their jobs. But I am committed to filming these places and I am committed to getting them on camera. So I'm not trying to give them a hard time. I'm not trying to make their lives difficult. I understand that they're not the bad guys here. They're just doing a job, Really, the bad guys are the mall owners who neglect these malls and have them fall into such poor shape and are then embarrassed to have anyone see them, which is why they don't want people taking pictures. They don't want people to see how bad the property's gotten. They don't want to see how badly they've neglected these places. So that's why they ban photos. If a security guard asks for your driver's license, you don't have to show it. No, you don't. You don't have to do that. Jamboree had CRTVs. Some people just like the power trip. Some people are given a tiny bit of power and they start to own their entire world. And here's the thing, like many security guards are professionals. They're not going to do anything to hurt you or anything like that. But at the same time, you just don't know. You just don't know if somebody's going to overstep their boundaries. You don't know if somebody's going to do something. It has happened before. There was a security guard at Forest Fair Village who I believe threatened someone. I want to say they threatened something like that. Like they pulled a knife on somebody who was taking pictures in the mall. So it's crazy. You don't know what can happen. So, at the end of the day, and I've met mall security guards who are nice people, who are cool people. They're not bad people. They're just trying to do their job. So, it's a pain in the ass, but you got to do what you got to do. Hey, Chris, how are you? Hamilton Mall's main landing is about to die. Have I been to that mall? I have been to that mall, and I just recently put out a video about that. So be sure to check that one out. I got some good footage. Mall looks absolutely beautiful, and it's totally dead. If only somebody would create camera glasses with actual good quality. Yeah, I was going to get camera glasses, but the thing is, everybody knows what they look like now. And a lot of people think if you're wearing them that you're like trying to be some kind of creep or weirdo or something like that. And I don't want to have them on and people get the wrong idea and think I happen to be one of those creeps. I mean, that scares me too, is when I'm out in public and I'm taking pictures or getting video, that somebody might think I'm doing something wrong. Somebody might go crazy because you don't know if a Karen is going to react and freak out at you and think and just like get mad at you just for taking pictures. I try to be very careful and not take pictures of people. I'm always just trying to film places. Sometimes if it's busy, people get in the shot. I mean, that happens, but I don't want, I'm more scared of somebody just like acting out because people can be really crazy nowadays. Being a mall security guard was awesome. I got free meals in the food court every day. I wouldn't mind being a mall security guard. That might be fun. It's so sad Exton Square Mall is dead and shut down. I used to go there as a kid. It is sad. Exton Square, beautiful mall. Absolutely beautiful mall. I think I've seen most of the walkthrough here, but maybe we'll go outside a little bit. I'm having fun chatting. I don't want to end the stream just yet because everybody's coming in and we're having a good time chatting about malls and whatnot. Hamilton Mall is so nice. I just went for the first time. Hamilton Mall is a nice mall and it's worth going to still. It's dead, but there's an amazing record store. The mall looks beautiful. There's a beautiful carousel. There's some stuff open in the food court. If you're down that way, if you're visiting Atlantic City, make a stop at Hamilton Mall. It's a good one. You'll protect me from the Karens. Hey, if you're there, I'm worried about the Karens because I'm afraid of what you're going to do to them. My local Verizon is a former fashion bug. I've been sub to you for a while. This is the first time I've seen you live stream. Oh, thank you so much for being here. I don't live stream very often just because I don't really have a setup for live stream. I've done live streams where I'm out filming on my phone, but that's not something I do too much anymore. Oh, thank you so much, Blue Blizzy. I appreciate that. Um, what I'm doing right now, I know most people who stream, they have like a dual screen setup. I don't have two computer monitors. So I have my laptop plugged into my computer desktop monitor, and that's how I'm doing this. I'm using OBS streaming software. And I don't know if anybody's familiar with that. I don't know if anybody has ever done anything like that. I think it's what most streamers use when they're streaming video games or something like that. Um, and it's working okay. I guess everything looks good. Um, if people like this, if people enjoy this, I'll do this more often. We can just look at stuff on the internet. Maybe I can play some games. If y'all like this, I'll do this more often because I'm having a lot of fun doing this. It's great to have all you guys here. It's a lot of fun. So, do I have a nickname for my followers? I don't have a nickname. I have like channel memberships set up. I know I've been neglecting the membership portion of my channel. I'm sorry about that. I'm trying to get more exclusive stuff, kind of like extras, but I just kind of said like explorers or something like that. I don't know if you guys have I don't want to give you guys a nickname. If you guys want to come up with your own nickname, I don't know. I would be very grateful. I'm just happy to have the audience I have. I'm just happy to have so many of you guys here watching me be a goober on the internet. I'm grateful every day to know that uh, people I'm bringing joy into people's lives with my silly videos. Let's see. Most streamers use Twitch for game streaming and OBS for general streaming with screen sharing. Yeah, that's what I'm doing now. And I don't know, maybe I might try to do gaming. Maybe do a gaming stream once in a while. I might play some like old NES games or something, do something like that, keep it with the retro. I'm not really a big gamer. Like I don't play too many modern video games, but I love old school games. Love going to arcades and stuff like that. Feel bad for the security guards at my school. They have to arrest the same kid 3 times. He's only a freshman. Yeah. Can I do a similar live stream with the old Franklin Mills? Is Franklin Mills on Google? If people know of other malls that have walkthroughs like this, oops, I don't want to do that. Walkthroughs like this, I will definitely come. I will definitely try and live stream walkthroughs because Franklin Mills was a good one. I know of two other malls that have the walkthroughs like this. I will definitely try and check those out soon. Let's see. Do this more often? I absolutely will. Logan Valley Mall has a street view. I'll have to check that one out. I don't think I've ever been to Logan Valley Mall. I think it depends on location. Tons of people at Jersey Shore beaches at the summer. We can be the Ray out there's. Okay, yeah, you guys can be the out there's. We can all be out there's. I know some people have been calling Lay and me the out there's because we're a couple. We're not married yet, but I guess we'll be the out there's in the future. The goobers or the mall goobers. What's the worst looking mall I have been to? Probably Livingston in its final days because the ceiling was literally falling apart. I'm enjoying the Google Maps walk. Yeah, I'll have to do this more often. Let me do some of the outside of the mall now. Let's go around to the side of the Sears. The goof. You guys want to be the goobers? Oh, you guys could be the goobers. We'll be mall goobers. Have I ever been to Texas? I have not been to Texas. So, as far as road tripping and stuff like that, I've been kind of limited in what I've been able to go out and do. Um, up until recently, up until last year, I had a full-time job, so I didn't have a lot of time to go on road trips. I've been trying to make it full-time on YouTube. I've been doing that for the past year, and it's been a struggle. It's been tough because I wasn't really. Basically, I lost my job last year. I was kind of laid off. I was laid off without being officially laid off. I was forced out of my job. They basically started giving me unfair disciplinary action and things like that. It's a long story, but basically, I lost my job last year, and I decided to give full-time YouTube a go. I wasn't really ready for it because my following is still kind of small, a little too small to be really a full-time YouTuber. Some videos get good views, some videos don't. I'm still kind of learning. But the past couple months have been good. I've been getting consistent views, channel's growing, and I just want to keep that going. And I'm thankful and grateful every day for all the support you guys have been giving me, for tuning into my videos, for watching, liking, participating. I'm so thankful to you guys because it's been hard, you know. But anyway, what was I talking about? No, I have not been to Texas because I have not been able to road trip that far yet. In the future, I do want to start road tripping further out from the Northeast. We made it down to Virginia this year. We're probably going to do some road trips later on this year. Maybe not quite as far as Texas, but we're gonna be heading out. Maybe one day I will make it to Texas. It's a shame Montgomery Mall is no longer Simon Mall. Montgomery Mall, that's another really sad dead mall. I really like that one. I've been to it a couple times. I think I've only filmed it once. But that's another great mall to explore. It's a shame. Altoona Mall has the same walkthrough. We'll have to check out the Altoona Mall soon. Maybe I'll have to make a trip out there because I haven't even been out there. Fellow mall walkers. Yeah, we're all mall walkers. King of Prussia Simon Mall is a bigger one, 10 years older than Exton Mall, by the way, and King of Prussia is doing well. King of Prussia is a behemoth. I think it was actually two separate malls and they conjoined them. West Oaks Mall and Greenspoint Mall. I've heard of that one. If I am Texas, try Whataburger. Absolutely. If I make it to Texas, I'm definitely going to try Whataburger. I have a question about that store in the picture. What was the name of that store? Well, which one specifically were you referring to? I miss Echelon Mall. It has been closed since April 2024. I miss Echelon Mall too. Let's go check out Echelon Mall. Let's go take a look at that. Is there a walkthrough of it? But maybe we'll have no. Maybe we'll just do the outside. We're at a different mall now. Everybody subscribe if you're not. Yes. Yes, please. I'm trying to get videos out, like 3 videos a week, at least 2 or 3 a week. I've been able to keep up with that. I hated working for others. I'm sorry you lost your job. Yeah, well, it became a very toxic place to work. It was a good job for a couple of years, but then it went downhill and it was killing me. And it was taking a toll on my mental and physical health. So I think getting out of there was the right call. What I'm going to do in the future, if YouTube works out, great. If not, I don't know. Might have to find another job. All right. Altoona Mall is the nickname. King of Prussia Mall. I saw the new Round 1 at Menlo Park with Rainforest Cafe. Never been there before. I'm sad they got rid of Rainforest Cafe. I am. That was a great place. But I'm glad it's a Round 1 because Round 1 is awesome. If a mall gets cut from Simon, the mall is done. Yeah. Simon takes care of their malls, but the ones that they choose to let go are the ones that aren't going to make it. Love how consistently you've been posting. I've been trying to keep up, and I've been doing good. Been trying to get the videos out. All right, let's look at Voorhees Mall. Now, this mall used to be called the Echelon Mall, and at one point they demolished half of the mall and just reopened it. No, they redeveloped it as like an outdoor center. Is Ocean County Mall in jeopardy? Ocean County is owned by Simon. I think it's doing pretty well. Times I've been there recently, it's been doing well. This is the outside of the mall, and we have these cool little lampposts here. And now this is the former Strawbridge. It later opened up as a Macy's. You can see the Macy's label scar. And I remember watching one of Sal's old videos. Sal, creator of the X-Log series, fantastic Dead Mall creator, and somebody who's done so much to just foster a community of mall creators. Be sure to check out his Osmium server. He had a Discord server, but it's gone now, and he has it up on Osmium, which is an alternative to Discord. It's now Demo, which is Dead and Abandoned Malls of Osmium. It's a great place if you're a Dead Mall enthusiast or a Dead Mall creator. Check out Demo. But anyway, Sal went in here and he filmed the chandelier. He actually walked into the vacant anchor space. And I just remember that video because he saw this beautiful chandelier that was still hanging up there. And they opened up a furniture store in here. And you could actually walk inside the furniture store and see it. And I managed to go in and get some pictures of it. And I was just like, oh, it's the chandelier from Sal's video. I love these square planters. Has kind of like a brutalist style to it. King of Prussia Mall is a big mall. The Exton Mall, well, Exton Square is actually pretty big. It's not as big as King of Prussia, but it's a big mall for what it is. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying the stream. This has turned into a fun stream. And I'm glad I finally got like a browser set up so I can just kind of like dig into all these like old school mall things and stuff. And yeah, I'll find stuff to do in the future, whether it's mall related or just general nostalgia stuff, you know. I have a lot of different weird things I'm interested in, and I'll be happy to share them with you guys. You're building a Connect. That's cool. Are you going to post your Connect? Do you have like a Instagram or something where you're going to post pictures of that? I'd love to see your Connect coaster. Voorhees. Yeah, the town's Voorhees. Like Jason Voorhees. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Let me go back. And I think there's still a furniture store open in here, even though the mall's closed. What are my favorite restaurant chains? That's a tough question. I have favorite restaurant chains. I'm just struggling to think of them offhand. Pizza Hut has a questionable food court. Yum Brands decided to sell it to Long Range Capital. Yeah, Pizza Hut might not be around for a while now. That bums me out because they were redoing their restaurants to look like they did back in the 90s. I made a visit to one and it was absolutely amazing. Cheesecake Factory, yes, I love Cheesecake Factory. Believe it or not, I love Olive Garden. I know people want to trash Olive Garden, but I actually think it's pretty good. Lately, I've been getting Panda Express pretty often. I've actually really been enjoying it. Let me see. Can I show you? Yeah, look at the architecture on this old Strawbridge, old Macy's. You can still see the Strawbridge seal here. And now this little area here. This used to be a wing of the mall, and they actually demolished it and built townhomes and mixed-use retail here. But this mall is about half as big as it used to be. There's a really great account on Instagram called Echelon Mall Memories, and they just post nothing but old pictures of what this mall used to look like. So be sure to go check that out. Echelon Mall Memories on Instagram. Saks Fifth Avenue is going to be out of business with only 13 locations remaining. Yeah, I mean, who can afford to shop there? But you know what? I went into Saks Fifth Avenue, and it's like very expensive clothing, but it's not like fashionable clothing. It's like streetwear stuff, and it's like, who's the audience? Who's this for? You know? Oh, thank you so much for the super chat, Madam Hummingbird. I appreciate that so much. I appreciate that, you guys. Any help for the channel, it goes a long way to keep this channel going, you know? Like, I'm staying afloat pretty well. I want to keep this channel going for as long as I can because it means so much to me, all the work I've done. And for a while there, it was looking like I might not be able to continue. Like last year during the summer, summer of 2025, I didn't put out any videos just because my job was just taking so much of a toll on me. And I couldn't, I had no energy to be creative anymore. And I was getting really sad that I might have to give up on the channel. So it came down to either being continue with a job that's killing me or leave the job and see if I can make it as a channel. And I've been able to keep it going for a year now, almost. It'll be a year in August. And I'm proud of how far I've come. I'm grateful for all the folks who have stuck by me, and it feels good to be able to keep this going, you know? I mean, I don't know if I want to get too into it, but I think a lot about one of my big inspirations was Adam the Woo, a YouTuber who is no longer with us, and I just think about, you know, how short life is and just how much he was able to accomplish and the legacy he was able to leave behind. And you know, I think about how he's no longer with us, and I can't quit now, you know. I have to keep going. So thank you, Lay. And everybody give a shout out. Everybody send love to my girlfriend, Lamonia Demonia. She has been here with me through it all, and she has given me so much support and so much love. And I don't think I would have been able to do any of what I'm doing now without her being by my side. So everybody send love and hearts to Lay, because she's amazing. She's my honey boo boo. She's the best. So, but anyway, we're looking at Voorhees. We're looking at Voorhees Mall. Yeah, not much I can really see on Google Maps here. This is the food court. Let me see if I can get inside the food court. Let's look at some of the pictures of the food court. So this is permanently closed. Yes, Leia is the best. I love her so much. She's my sidekick now, my partner in crime. I shouldn't say sidekick. She's my co-star. This was the Salad Works. Let's see what pictures. Look at that. Do you see that neon sign? Oh my gosh. Straight out of the 90s. Let's see if I can get some pictures of the mall here. Let me see if we can see some mall pictures. Yeah, this is what the mall looked like inside, and it was very sad. Very sad towards the end. We're the Goobers. Yeah, rest in peace, Adam. I mean, I'm sure a lot of you know who Adam the Woo was. He was a guy who, one of the original daily vloggers, one of the original road trip vloggers. He did van life before everybody else did van life. He did abandoned locations before everybody else was doing abandoned locations. Later on in his life, he became more focused on theme parks and attractions, but his videos were amazing. He did so much for YouTube. He inspired so many people, and he inspired me in a lot of ways. And I just think about the life he led, you know, and just the fact that he he passed on so suddenly, it just made me realize just how important it is to just live life to the fullest, you know. But yeah, here we are at this mall. Let me see if I can find some older pictures. No, there's not too many pictures left. I guess I don't know. I don't know if they're still up on Google Maps anymore. Franklin Mills Mall video. There's a store that does cheap weddings, and we asked if we could get. Yeah, we might get married at a dead mall. Yeah, yeah. Adam passed away. A few days before Christmas of last year. He passed away of a heart attack in his sleep, and no one saw a comment. It's just I'm still in shock by it, but I don't know. Anyway, there are a lot of great vloggers who are following in his footsteps. I mean, I'd like to say that I'm following in his footsteps, but I don't know. I never had a personal relationship with him like some other vloggers have. But I watch Carpetbagger, I watch Philly Captain, so many great vloggers out there. I watch Tampa J, he's another good one. Let's see, can we see anything at this mall? There used to be this arcade here. There used to be a tilt. Look at that front. Look at how cool that is. Can I see? Oh, I can get some pictures inside the old tilt. That would be very on brand for us to get married in a dead mall. Yeah, Monroeville Mall will be getting demolished at the end of the year, or at least they're going to start to. We definitely want to try and make it out there one more time. I know that there's a Living Dead fan group that does meetups there, and I think they're going to try and do one more meetup before the mall's closed permanently. So we want to try and maybe make it out to that event, because that was the mall featured in the original Dawn of the Dead movie. Fantastic movie about a mall. If you're a mall enthusiast, I highly recommend checking that out, because it's kind of a commentary on consumer culture at the time. It's a zombie movie. I don't know if you like zombie movies or not, but if you're a mall enthusiast, I think you should definitely see that one. Yeah, this was a big tilt. Let's look at some of these old pictures. Yeah, this is what it looked like on the inside. It had this big neon streak here and this cool, look at the cool logo. They don't have that logo anymore. Sambucha went into this video. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, look at that. What is that, like a ride? Hold up a minute. Let me just check my phone. How long have I been live for? It's been going on for a while. It's been a couple hours at this point, right? Oh, look at your former boss may not see how awesome you are, but we all do. Well, I mean, I don't mean to trash well, I mean, some people I worked with at that place were toxic, but a lot of good people, I worked with a lot of good people that were just treated poorly by the company itself. So, and in the lead up to when I quit, a lot of other people had quit. And after I quit, a lot of people quit after me because I was doing a lot to really just take good care of that business. But it's all in the past now, you know? Almost about 2 hours. Wow, 2 hours, the longest stream I've ever done. But this is fun. I'll keep going for a little bit longer. We'll look at some more pictures of Voorhees, and I think maybe we'll wrap it up. But this has been a lot of fun. And yeah, I definitely want to try and do more streams like this now that I have it all set up. Shout out to Dan Bell. Dan Bell, the granddaddy of it all. I wouldn't be doing this if not for Dan Bell. None of us would be doing this without Dan Bell. Watching Dan Bell's videos so long ago, they just, I mean, they changed my life, you know? I got into Dan Bell because I visited the Phillipsburg Mall, and afterwards I was trying to do research on it, and I found his video, and I found his Dead Mall series, and I just became so fascinated by the concept of dead malls. I mean, I've always loved malls. I've always been going to malls ever since I grew up. New Jersey is a very mall culture place. Like people in New Jersey love going to the mall. And I think that's just was part of why I love malls so much. Most beautiful retro mall I've ever seen, Stamford Town. So that's a beautiful mall. I love Stamford so much. That happened to me when I resigned from my previous job. As soon as I left, others felt inspired to leave as well. The place was incredibly toxic. Yeah, I mean, yeah, my job had turned toxic towards the end, and just um, I was a manager, and the company had adopted a policy of wanting to um, push people out who were underperforming, and they wanted me to adopt bully tactics, and I just I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. It was terrible. I'm gonna head out now. It was nice talking to you. Take care, Ray. God bless, and keep doing whatever you're doing. Thank you, Christian, so much for being here, and take care. I hope whatever path you're on in life works out for you. I know a lot of people are in strange situations now with work, and it's tough out there, and just be sure to take care, you know. Look at this old play area. That's so old school. Dan Bell was one of the first who documented Granite Run before it closed down. Yeah, I remember that video. It was so good. Phillipsburg Mall. Yeah, Phillipsburg Mall was the place that started my dead mall obsession. I used to work I used to work at a traveling retail job. I would go to different locations of a certain store, and once a week I would go to Phillipsburg. And every day when I would get off work, I'd go to the Phillipsburg Mall and just walk around. I just was shocked that the place hadn't changed since the 90s. And I was just like, look at this place. It's trapped in time. It was so cool. And it's gone now, but I have so many good memories there. Loved working at Service Merchandise. That must have been a cool store to work at. Look at these old arcade cabinets. So, guys, are you liking the arcade videos? I know they don't quite get as many views as my mall walkthroughs, but I loved doing the arcade videos, and there's plenty of them for me to do, so I hope to continue doing more of them. I'm very glad I got to visit Monmouth Mall before we. Yeah, yeah. Um, I went to Monmouth Mall, I think, on one of its last days, and I got to walk through it. I missed that mall. That was another great mall. I imagine if you have memories there, it was very painful to see what happens. Is there Google Maps on Phillipsburg? Maybe. Let's see if we can find Phillipsburg Mall. There's nothing left of Phillipsburg Mall except for the Coles. Let me see. Can we still see it? Oh, here we are. Let's see. Before we check out the. No, there might not be photos. I don't know. I guess there's no photos of the mall itself anymore. We can still see the mall on Google Street View. So let's at least do once around. We'll do once around Phillipsburg Mall for old time's sake. You're feeling verklempt. I'm feeling verklempt. Phillipsburg Mall had cool neon signs. Yeah, yeah. Level 99 is coming to King of Prussia. What is level 99? All right, here we are at the Old Navy, Black Rose. I remember one day, before I started a YouTube channel, I went to Phillipsburg Mall and attempted to try and film it, try and make a video on it. I had no idea what I was doing, but I still have the footage from that. And I think I put it in one of my Phillipsburg Mall videos. One where I think I went through after it had closed. I just kind of walked around. It's in one of my old Phillipsburg Mall videos. I do have, I think, 2 or 3 of them. So be sure to check those out if you're interested in that. But I think I might put them up on like my Patreon or something like that. This is the old Bonton. Look at that mirrored glass tile. Look at that. That's so futuristic looking, but yet it's from the 80s. It feels like we've given up on the future. God, that's depressing to hear that said out loud. But we don't have futuristic anything anymore, you know? Can we see the Bonton? Are there pictures? Nope. I don't know. I guess Google Maps deletes the picture. Well, maybe, I don't know. They got to be out there somewhere. This was a Crown America mall. Look at that. Have I been to Park City Center? Is that the one in Lancaster, Pennsylvania? I stopped there briefly once on a road trip, but I didn't make any real content out of it. Yeah, that's so cool. All right, let's keep going. Oh, I miss Phillipsburg Mall so much. That was a cool mall. But these were all the loading docks. Kind of weird how they had them in the front of the mall like that. Deptford Mall has a Sears that became a Round One. Yeah, I've been to that one. That's a pretty cool mall. Maybe try Logan Valley Mall if you can before the stream ends. I know you're probably tired, but it is worth it. You know what? I might save that one for another stream in the future. I think I'm going to wrap it up after Phillipsburg, but I like this. Everybody seems to enjoy this, so I think maybe we'll do that one another time. Maybe I'll learn a little bit more about that mall because I don't really know much about that one. Hess's was glamorous. Yeah, Hess was cool. Now this is Bruno's Pizza, and this is the one that had the really weird looking sun and moon in the wall. South Mall has a fun, cool little thrift store that has some cool Hess merch. Yeah, so South Mall in Allentown, Pennsylvania, another Crown American mall, has a very similar vibe to what the Phillipsburg Mall used to have. Now, there was an old Hess's department store. It was later converted into a Bonton, and now it's a giant supermarket. But I guess they found old Hess boxes, old Hess branded stuff, and they're selling it at that little thrift store inside the South Mall. So if you want to get your hands on some Hess stuff, go check that out. Yeah, this scary sun and moon. Now, I don't know if people know what I'm talking about. Let me see if I can find a picture of that. So this is it destroyed. They had to tear it out. They I guess they wrecked it when they took out the pizza oven. Can I find a picture of it? This is it. Yeah, this is what it looked like. Yeah, this was on the pizza oven at the pizza place, and they were very creepy. Oh, thank you, Relics of Retail, for being here. Be sure to go follow Relics of Retail. They have a YouTube channel and an Instagram page. Never heard of Round One. Is it a Jersey thing? Round One, I think they're based out of Japan, and they're an arcade. They're very similar to Dave and Buster's, but they have more claw games, a lot more like imported Japanese games. It's a very like if you like Japanese stuff, anime, it definitely has that kind of vibe. Yes, this is also in Sal's video on the Phillipsburg Mall. Also, be sure to check out Sal's final video on Phillipsburg Mall. It's like about an hour and a half long. It's like a movie, and he goes through the abandoned Phillipsburg Mall. He interviews one of the people who used to work there. I think he was the property manager. Absolutely fantastic video. But anyway, there actually is another pizza oven like this in an open mall. What's the name of that mall? It's in Pennsylvania. What's the name of that mall? Is it? It's the Laurel Mall, and I went to it, and it's very old school, but it was still busy, still full of people. Like it was crazy, and they have another one just like this. I mean, the face is slightly different, but you can tell the same person made it. It was really cool. I'll have to go to check out that mall eventually and film it. All right, but let's finish. Let's go around Phillipsburg Mall. Feels like we're living in the 70s without all the cool stuff. Yeah. Brunswick Square is seriously in jeopardy. Brunswick Square is actually closed already, and they're redeveloping it. I went there for the last day of operation. If you want to check out that video, it's a pretty good video. I might do another update on that. Just go check out, see what they're doing there. You were at Laurel Mall in September of 2020. Yeah, that's a cool mall. I definitely want to head back there and make a video there. Look at this archway here. That's cool. This is where I would always come into the mall. And I remember coming to it after it had closed, and it was just all overgrown. It was just really sad. Of course, Sears. Look at that. Sears and Roebuck. Might be weird, but you find them cute. They are kind of cute. Definitely unique and artistic, that's for sure. Can I go this way? Yes, I didn't go into this mall when it was abandoned. I know a lot of people did, but I didn't do it just because I don't know. I knew my heart couldn't handle it. Well, no, I did go into it when it was partially demolished. I did go into a small abandoned section that had been demolished. But I remember walking around here. Yeah, this street sweeper here. What's the? Let me see. Oh, don't want to do that. What's the date on this street view? Yeah, so this is 2017. This never moved. So if this was here in 2017, let's see, 2015, it was still here in 2015. This was here after the mall had been abandoned and it got torn apart by vandals and spray painted. I believe it's still probably sitting there. You're going to head out. Thank you, Mr. Bro, for being here. I appreciate it. Thank you for being a part of this live stream. This was a fun one. We're definitely going to do more like these. Granite Run Mall used to be a mall with interior corridors. I don't know much about that one. I think probably because it was already closed by the time I started exploring malls. But that's one I'll look into. I'll have to watch some old videos on that. There's going to be a Nordstrom rack in Brunswick Square. Yeah, it's going to be like a front-facing store. It's going to be a boring mixed-use shopping center. Gold's Gym. Look at that old bench. I miss this mall. You want to do a live stream again, Lay? You should do a live stream. I loved your live streams. I remember watching your live streams before we were officially dating. And I really enjoyed them. I had a lot of fun. And I was always happy to participate. And you should do vlogs too. Hi, Mr. Awesome. How you doing? Yeah, so there, believe it or not, there was an H&M in this mall. As quiet as this mall was, even when it was still open, they actually had an H&M. Freehold Raceway Mall is about to have New Jersey's first Von Maur. I definitely want to check that out. I definitely want to check that out when it opens up. Mr. Awesome. I may make live streams too. Definitely. Yeah, if you have a channel, shout it out. You got to get my camera. Yeah, I have cameras you can use. What's in the trash? Does anybody watch that channel, Tucker Upper? He's a guy, he's from South Jersey, I believe, and he does like a lot of trash picking and stuff. But then he also does like abandoned places, and he was making some mall videos there for a little while. I actually bumped into him while he was out filming a mall, and I said hi to him. It was pretty cool. He's a cool guy. Check out Tucker Upper. He makes some cool videos. A lot of fun. All right, now this. Should I make live streams? Yeah, check out if you want to do YouTube videos or do live streams, stuff like that. Um, you know, just get started. Just give it a try, you know. The stuff you make early on, it's not going to be perfect. You know, it's a learning process, but you don't learn unless you start. You don't learn unless you start doing it. You don't learn unless you try. You just got to get going, you know? Don't worry about what people are going to think. Don't be embarrassed to post stuff that's maybe a little rough around the edges, you know? Just do it and you're going to enjoy it. So, my fandom's going to be called the Goobers now. All right. We'll all be Goobers. I like that. Is Morristown Mall dying? Yeah, I would say it's a dying mall. I mean, they're putting stuff in the building, but it's not like shopping. It's not like a fun mall. They're putting like medical offices and stuff, just like really like low rent stores and stuff. So, oops, you learn by failing. I wouldn't say you learn by failing. I would say like what you learn to do. If you post, I mean, here's the thing: people are making lots of um, low effort content, lots of content that I think is in poor taste and offensive. Um, by that I mean like prank channels and channels exploiting vulnerable people and stuff like that. And that gets views. People watch that. If you're following your heart and you're making genuine content about stuff you're interested in, and even if it takes a while for it to get traction, that's not a failure. That's still a success. You're still creating something. You're still learning something. You're still growing and growing yourself. And you know it can take time, but you can get an audience if you're passionate. And that's not failing. That's learning. You know what I mean? If you're doing this with integrity and good intentions, you know, then you're already successful. That's how I look at it. Hi, Rear Flank. Good to have you here. We were just at Echelon Mall looking at what's available on Google Maps. There's not much left. Um, Check out Rear Flank on Instagram. He posts stuff. You have a good library of like old mall pictures from like Voorhees Mall and stuff like that. How's Rockaway Town Square? Rockaway Town Square, it's doing well. I'd say it's thriving. It's definitely a live mall. It's owned by Simon, so it's doing well. Like watching videos of brand new malls in other countries. They have amusement parks on the roof. That sounds like so much fun. Yeah, Rockaway, some stores closed. Some of the stores we liked closed, but they're already putting new stuff in them. So it's like, you know, that's how Simon does it. So Rockaway Mall is dead. I don't know. I don't know. I wouldn't call it dead. Maybe it's not the same as it used to be, but it's not dead. Food court. Food court is fantastic. Anyway, what we're looking at here is the old J.C. Penney at Phillipsburg Mall. Phillipsburg Mall used to have a J.C. Penney. It closed and it eventually became a Black Rose Antiques. So they just had all these old antique stalls and collectibles, and it was amazing. I could go in there and get lost for hours. I had so much fun there. Yeah, it's so sad what happened to that mall. Like it started to struggle. They demolished half of it. They left this like sad little dead portion of it over. Now it's all closed. So yeah, here we can see the sign for Black Rose Antiques. Black Rose was amazing. I wish I could go back in time to like uh, I don't remember what year when this was still open and make a vlog there. I would have filmed every inch of it. I would have had so much fun there. Yeah, this was the other entrance to the J.C. Penney. Very cool looking. And now I walked around here after this had been abandoned, and I think one of these trees had fallen over. One of these pines here. It was crazy. And so now this is the Coles. And this Coles is actually still here. It's the only part of the building remained because I guess they own the property here. Cumberland Mall. That's a mall I've only been to once. I should definitely make a trip there next time I'm in South Jersey. Film that. I am not sure if there are Black Rose Antiques still open because they were in malls. They had one in the Chambersburg Mall, and that closed because that mall closed down. JCPenney looks rather gothic. It is kind of a gothic JCPenney. But this Kohl's actually used to be a Kmart when the mall first opened. Does anybody know if there's still Black Rose open? Just looking at my phone. Oh, geez, a lot of people watching. All right. So I think I'm going to wrap it up. We looked at all of Exton Square, inside and out. We looked at what was left of Echelon Mall, and then we took a little walk around Phillipsburg Mall. So got to see some old malls here, and this was a lot of fun. I definitely want to do more streams like this, and who knows? Maybe I'll find some other stuff to stream. Maybe we'll just look at some weird stuff on the internet. I'll do some stuff that's non-mall related. Maybe if I can get it to work, I'll play some video games or something. That'll be fun. But there's a multi-level Kohl's at Newport Center. I didn't cover that in my Newport Mall video. I actually don't have a dedicated Newport Mall video. I did the Sears at Newport Mall, but I want to go back and maybe make a full video about Newport Mall because that's a mall I really like and it's doing really well. Again, it's a Simon Mall. Google says there's a Black Rose in East Hanover. Maybe we'll make a trip. Have to make a trip for that. But in conclusion, I think we're going to go with calling this community the Goobers. We're all Goobers now. I'm a Goober, and you guys are my Goobers. So it's settled. So anyway, I think I'm going to wrap this up. This is a lot of fun, and I just want to say thank you all so much for joining me on this live stream. This was a lot of fun, and we'll definitely do more like this. Hope everybody had a good 4th of July weekend. Hope everybody stayed safe, and I hope this heat wave kind of dies down. But I'm gonna say good night to you all for tonight. Hopefully I'll get some videos made this week. I'm not sure what I'm going to do this week, but next weekend I'm going to a really cool festival. It's going to be dedicated to VHS tapes, and that'll be up next weekend. So be sure to tune in for that. But anyway, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.